Summer 2010. Images and headlines of the violence in Kashmir. Since 2008, stone pelting had become a routine feature of street protests in Srinagar. But in April 2010, it had intensified after 3 youths were allegedly killed in a fake encounter. By June 11th, the accidental death of a schoolboy Tufail Mattu as a result of tear gas shelling became a flashpoint, setting the valley ablaze with mass protests and more violence that killed 100 people, mostly under 30.
That was 5 years ago, and as always after every violent turn in the valley, the post-mortem throws up a diagnosis as old as the Kashmir problem, that the youth of Jammu and Kashmir are alienated and urgent steps are required to address this. One such step was meant to be the Prime Minister's Special Scholarship Scheme aimed at educating 25,000 students from underprivileged backgrounds across the state. Now that 5 years have passed, we in India Matters investigate a scheme mired in chaos and corruption. My colleague Martina Roy travelled across the valley and the NCR region to investigate.
First, the details of what the 1200 crore scheme intended to do. It hoped to encourage the youth of Jammu and Kashmir to pursue higher studies outside of Kashmir, improve skill development through better access to higher education. The scheme would give 5,000 students full scholarships each year to study for 5 years at a college in India outside Jammu and Kashmir. 250 scholarships were marked for engineering, for which 2.25 lakhs were given each year for 4 years. 250 for medical colleges, the rest 4,500 for general. By the end of 5 years, 25,000 students would have been educated.
मैंने न्यूज़ में सुना था कि स्कीम है, इसके बेसिस पे मैंने यहाँ पे बाहर एडमिशन लिया था ऑन दिस बेसिस कि मैं अपनी पढ़ाई कर पाऊँगी, क्योंकि मैंने सोचा ये गरीबों के लिए स्कॉलरशिप है, दैट्स व्हाई आई अप्लाइड फॉर दिस स्कॉलरशिप. बट फ्रॉम 3 years वी आर स्ट्रगलिंग फॉर दिस स्कॉलरशिप एंड AICTE इज नॉट सपोर्टिंग अस.
150 के करीब बच्चे हैं तो जिनका ऐसा मसला है, किसी का भी स्कॉलरशिप अभी तक नहीं आया.
किसी को कोई सपना दिखाएगा तो ऐसा करेगा वैसा होगा जैसा होगा, पर वो नहीं होगा, फिर तो होगा ही, वो बिगड़ जाएगा, उसका पता नहीं फ्यूचर कैसा होगा.
बहुत से स्टूडेंट ऐसे हैं जो घर चले गए उसके बाद, क्योंकि हम में से कोई फी पे नहीं कर सकता था, लेकिन वो डिप्रेशन में आके घर चले गए, उन्होंने अपनी पढ़ाई तक छोड़ दी. मैम,
An endless chorus of voices that tell us that something has gone horribly wrong. A scheme that evoked great hope and optimism among students from poorer backgrounds has ended up alienating them further. We investigate why. In 2011 to 2012, the first year of the scholarship, 22 groups of colleges were listed as suitable. But instead of 5,000 students, only 38 students received scholarships. Among them, students from higher income families who were already enrolled in colleges. The administration says they were not at fault for this low number, as students in the state simply never applied for the scholarships. The next year, 2012 to 13, the scheme was more aggressively advertised and the number of colleges increased. Students could now apply to any college, either state-run, recognized by the UGC, or approved by the All India Council for Technical Education, that is AICTE. Once they got admission, they would be eligible for the scholarship. AICTE was made the nodal agency for managing the scholarships in the year 2012. A 2015 RTI revealed that in the second year of the scholarship, 2012 to 13, the number of students who applied rose to 5,186, kept rising in 2013 to 14, 6,700 students applied, and 9,371 students the year after in 2014 to 2015.
Well, here's the shocking fact. Not even half of these students have actually received their scholarships. But first, the stories of those who have been shown as beneficiaries. However, there are problems even with their case.
We travelled to Pampore in Pulwama district, just 20 kilometers from Srinagar, to meet 23-year-old Imtiaz Ashraf at his house where he lives with his ailing mother, his father who's a daily wage earner, and his 3 sisters.
I got admission 2012-2013 under the PMS scholarship scheme.
ये न्यूज़पेपर पे देखा था कि PMS स्कॉलरशिप निकली हुई है, तो मैंने भी इस पे फॉर्म निकलाया है.
Imtiaz and his family were thrilled when in 2012 Imtiaz got into the Rawal Institute of Management under Maharshi Dayanand University in Haryana, an institute recognized by the AICTE. Along with 40 other Kashmiri students, Imtiaz joined the institute, but 6 months later, when the scholarship money never reached the college, the students were asked to leave. Most of them returned to the valley, upset and angry.
कोई पैसे भी नहीं आया है. कॉलेज वालों ने बोला है कि पैसे कोई नहीं, हम वेट करेंगे और 6 महीने हम वेट करेंगे. फिर कॉलेज वालों ने 6 महीने और वेट किए हैं. तकरीबन 1 साल हुआ. 1 साल के बाद हमारा कोई फीस नहीं आया है.
It was a struggle for his poor family to support Imtiaz. He had to take an education loan to complete his education, but managed to top the exams. And yet the college says they will only give him his degree and return his school certificates if the scholarship money comes in.
मेरा होटल मैनेजमेंट मैंने वो कंप्लीट किया ऑलमोस्ट, और अभी तक फीस नहीं आई है. मैं तो वेट कर रहा हूँ कि पैसे आएंगे तो मैं एजुकेशन लोन जो मैंने निकाला है उनको मैं पैसे दूंगा.
जो मैंने उनके वेबसाइट से ये लिस्ट डाउनलोड की है, ये मैंने
More than 20 students of Rawal Institute of Management are shown as beneficiaries, where in fact only one student, Omar Gulzar, received some money, barely 40,000 rupees for 4 years, when that amount should have been approximately rupees 4 lakhs.
अब तो मुझे 2 साल की फ़ी आनी चाहिए, उसमें से खाली 40,000 मिले, जबकि मुझे आने चाहिए थे, जो हमारी हॉस्टल की फ़ी थी वो 80,000 थी पर ईयर, और जो हमारा एकेडमिक पर सेमेस्टर था वो था 35,000. अगर कोई भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जो कश्मीर के यूथ का कैरियर खराब करने पे तुली हुई है, तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट कहाँ सोई हुई है?
The students are constantly asked to prove their case, though the evidence in their support is glaring. Both Imtiaz and Omar Gulzar had got into the Hotel Management College at Rawal Institute.
I will have to look into this.
The Jammu and Kashmir Minister for Education told us that hotel management was not part of the scholarship scheme till 2016.
Hotel management was not in our basket so far. That has been added this year.
But when Imtiaz applied to Rawal Institute of Management listed as eligible, there was no indication that the hotel management course was excluded. What's more, if hotel management was not part of the scholarship scheme at the time, how is Imtiaz listed as a beneficiary of the scholarship? Working out of a hotel in Lal Chowk, Malik Imtiaz, a social activist, began to uncover the rot in this scheme when he was with the Srinagar-based People's Forum. Since then, he has worked on the flaw of the scheme, raising it with the state and central government, as well as filing RTIs on the issue.
हमने जो स्टूडेंट्स के साथ मिलके AICTE सवालात किए हैं, वो सारे सवालात के जवाब बहुत ही अच्छी तरह से नहीं दे रहे हैं और बहुत लेट दे रहे हैं. जैसे कि उनको हमने जवाब मांगा तो 2014 तक का उन्होंने जवाब दिया. 2014 तक के उन्होंने जो जवाब दिए हैं, उन्होंने खुद ही ये डिक्लेयर किया कि हमने 12,000 स्टूडेंट्स को पैसा नहीं दिया है और 9,000 के आसपास का हमने पैसा रिलीज़ किया है, जो कि गलत है. रिलीज़ नहीं किया है उन्होंने, उन्हें अप्रूव किया है. उन्होंने उसमें से बहुत कम लड़कों को पैसा दिया है. और जो हम उसमें खास जवाब मांग रहे हैं कि हमको ये बताइए जिनको आपने पैसा रिलीज़ किया है वो हमको दिखाइए कितने अवेलेबल है. वहाँ पे वो चुप कर रहे हैं.
In another village, Sumbal in Bandipur district, 20-year-old Abu Turab has just returned home in what he says feels shame and humiliation. In 2014, when Abu Turab applied for the scholarship, the guidelines for the scheme had changed. Instead of directly applying to the college, the students now had to first approach the AICTE, and if found eligible, they would give them an admission letter to a college. Abu Turab got this letter from AICTE to join JSS Kisan Veer Mahavidyalaya in Pune, Maharashtra.
जब हम पुणे पहुंचे, वहां पर उन्होंने बताया पहले आपको एडमिशन करवाना है, उसके बगैर आप नहीं पढ़ सकते यहाँ पे. उसके लिए 1-2 लाख चाहिए लगभग, मतलब टोटली आपकी फ़ी, बाकी चीज़ हॉस्टल खर्चे भी अलग लेते हैं वो. फिर हम अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते थे. हम वहाँ से वापस आए 2 महीने के बाद. फिर हमने वहाँ यहाँ के एक कॉलेज में गए. उन्होंने बताया अब एडमिशन का लास्ट डेट हो चुका है, अब आप एडमिशन नहीं कर सकते. उसकी वजह से मेरा 1 साल ज़ाया हो गया.
In the valley's volatile hotspot Shopian, More cases that reflect the dangers of mismanaged schemes. Farhad Ahmadwani was 20 years old when he got admission at the Sheela Devi Institute of Management and Technology in Faridabad, along with 5 others from Shopia and 15 others from across the valley. The institute, though, only received the scholarship funds for 4 students. Farhad was not one of them.
चौथी सेमेस्टर में उन्होंने बोला है कि किसी भी सूरत में आप पैसा भेजो, पहले 1,20,000 रुपये 1,40,000 रुपये डालो, फिर हम आपको मैट्रिक की टीडीसी की जितनी भी सर्टिफिकेट हैं तब हम दे सकते हैं। 1.5 कनाल ज़मीन मैंने बेचा है, जो पहाड़ी में बादाम की दरख्त है उसमें, वो बेचकर इसको हमने पैसा दिया। मैंने गवर्नर साहब से
His father Shakil Ahmadwani has written to the Chief Minister appealing for help.
मैं अपने ही बेटे की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैं पूरे कश्मीर की जितने भी लड़के इस काज में फंसे हुए हैं, जो खुदा न खास्ता सुबह कुछ गलत कर सकते हैं।
As we travel across the valley, it becomes clear that the scholarship designed to act as a balm has only deepened levels of frustration and anger.
सिर्फ बोलते थे हो जाएगा बेटा, 1 महीने में 15 दिन, ऐसी डेट्स देते रहे। आज 4था साल है तब से।
अगर ऐसा ही माहौल रहा, ऐसा ही हिसाब रहा, तो हम गरीब बच्चे को मजबूर वापस लाने के लिए हो जाएंगे।
To further investigate the claims made by students, we went directly to several educational institutions across the national capital area. The Kamra Institute of Information Technology in Gurugram, an AICTE-approved institute, admitted 20 students from Jammu and Kashmir under the PMSSS scholarship.
I am not very sure whether
Its director says after 3 years, the college says they have received only half the scholarship for just 1 student and have spent rupees 50 to 60 lakhs on their own, as they do not want to ruin the education of these children.
Unfortunately, even after 3 years, we could not receive any recoupment of the expenditure from any institution like AICTE or UGC. So the total expenditure has been incurred by our institute, that is KIIT. We have written to AICTE several times. We never got a satisfactory reply or any reimbursement so far.
Staying within the NCR region, we visit the Noida International University, where 20 Kashmiri students got admission to colleges like Noida International BTech College in 2013. Their story reveals just how embattled this scholarship has become. The Jammu and Kashmir High Court order in 2013 stated that the position of petitioners in pursuing course will not be disturbed. Petitioners to be allowed to pursue course without any violation of scheme guidelines.
जब ये स्कॉलरशिप आई तो हमें एक होप आई नहीं, हम अपना फर्दर हम देख सकते हैं, हम भी ड्रीम्स देख सकते हैं दूसरे लोगों की तरह। लेकिन अब जब हम 30 महीने के 3 साल के बाद हम स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे, तो इस रीज़न से हमारे जो ड्रीम्स हैं वो फुलफिल नहीं हो रहे।
The Noida International University has taken these students in, but the future for them is still precarious.
We have written to AICTE time and again, but we have not got any written reply from them. We have also approached MHRD. Assurances have been given. It's not that assurances were not given, but again we don't have any written reply.
After trying to pin down the AICTE for an interview for more than a week, we finally get an appointment with the chairman.
There was a very clear mandate that those who are approved by the AICTE or those universities which are approved under 12B, not 2F. 2F approval is available for all the universities because they have to award the degrees. But 12B is the approval which is required for scholarships to be given or funding to be given to those universities. And such universities and colleges who do not have approval, if students join there because of some agents, I think we are helpless.
But how is it that they still have the stamp of approval from AICTE?
No, if it is approved by AICTE as an institution, as a program, for such institutions and programs we are giving. If there is no approval, we cannot give it.
But KIIT is approved.
KIIT is a university. It is not approved under 12B. Colleges are
the chairman is right on this technicality, but here's the injustice. In the guidelines, as you can see, in 2012, only an AICTE approval was needed. There was no mention of requiring a 12B clearance. The guidelines changed in 2015. Institutes who admitted students before the change of guidelines were going by the guidelines of that time.
We were never told that unless you have got 12B, you cannot admit these students.
Sadly for this chaos, students have paid a heavy price. Back in Kashmir, when he hears we were working on this issue, the Sarpanch of Churmujru village in Budgam district comes to meet us, insisting we travel back to his village from where 7 students had gone to Delhi on the promise of a scholarship and a better future.
जो मतलब दिल्लू तेवरती लाइन के लोग हैं, उनके साथ एक बहुत बड़ा धोखा दिया है गवर्नमेंट ने. मतलब गवर्नमेंट ने और जो गवर्नमेंट के ऑफिसर्स हैं.
More than 1,000 students who return back to Valley, and when the number will be increasing, it's anybody's guess that what will happen in Kashmir. So in a way, they have created again a situation in which students are between devil and the deep sea.
In 2015 alone, more than 4,000 to 5,000 students suffered in what they call a nexus between private universities and the government.
Many of these concerns have been taken to the State Education Department, and when we spoke to him, the minister promised to work with the centre on fixing the lapses.
We have had many discussions at the officials level and at my level also, and I am confident that this year we will be presenting a better package to the students.
For students, though, promises are no longer enough. They want accountability from the agencies they say are messing with their lives.